Grangel Square. Grangel everyone, Grangel. Mark goal in that cut.
You don't know Prime Minister there, no drugs. And you don't know Margot live there and everybody there from there we are campaign, you understand? And we travel all over Jamaica. The female there, so everybody can appreciate the work that we are doing, can go on. Because you don't know a little more crazy thing, you understand? Wait till the Prime Minister come in. I think I was there, you don't know. I think I pose. Isn't it? No jokes. Easy going fast, big up Dan. You don't know it's go. And big up everybody else.
Ease out. Watching the comments. Every time I know, see? You know, general take crowds. So general. Comrades! Comrades! Are you ready? Are you ready for Conrad in hills? Are you ready for our next Minister, Conrad Mark Jefferson Grane? I am so beyond the Watch it, like a living target. It's about the massive. I know it's a bit of it, we talk about something. Oh, it's the one woman of blind with the puppet. And the men that get the fish that it's up. No, no much. Look, when she read the punching moving, she the glasses. I give up that slim girl. Mixed with a mountain, me a can't go small real. Son, important territory. I'm not the vino. They don't bring the machine, make me ride it like a cyclist. Mix with a jacket. One gospel music selector.
Sometimes I fall on knees and come Jesus, sometimes I feel like I'm gonna break, but I'm holding on to a hope that won't fade. Come Jesus, come. We've been waiting so long for the day you return to heal every hurt, right every wrong. We need you right now. Come and turn this around. Deep down I know this world isn't home. Come Jesus, come. Yeah.
Comrades, are you ready for the People's National Party? What a day! What a mother day! What a Westmoreland! What a Grane! Comrade leader, this is the biggest crowd I have seen in Grane in all of my years in this constituency. So tonight, we say glory to the People's National Party. So comrades, I want to help me bring on the first of the three speakers. The next MP for Central Westmoreland, Comrade Grane.
Westmoreland has shown today that the People's National Party is alive and well and in charge of the parish of Westmoreland.
Show the road for me. It's not sing.
Take that drunk, so I'm play no song till me done. Government leader, it's a good thing, sir. More than half of the central people and stop down by Big Bridge. Because Grane couldn't hold tonight if everybody from east side and central had come here. But what I came at Beer Road and get blocked up and starved from Western Westmoreland, I know that Western Westmoreland from every division is ready and can't wait to put Ian Hayles as the next MP and Mark Grane as their next Prime Minister. So comrades, I just want to know one thing. On September 3rd, are you ready for the People's National Party? Are you ready for Ian Hayles? Are you ready for Mark Grane? Comrades, if you are ready, we are ready. One love, one heart, love for every single time.
Of Westmoreland, are you ready for Comrade Ian Hayles? Comrade, let's welcome our MP, Comrade Ian Hayles.
Don't salute. My Highland don't salute. Please don't salute. My Highland don't salute. Remember your teachers them now.
Comrade Chairman, Comrade Vaz, Comrade Party Leader, next Prime Minister-elect, come September 3rd, Comrade Mark Jefferson Gordon. For you, the warriors of the People's National Party, good evening to each and every one of you. To my constituency of Western Westmoreland, can come for the People's National Party. I just want to say to you, party leader, most of the citizens of Westmoreland, when they go to Savlamar Hospital, they have to sleep on chair for 4 or 5 days before they get a bed. I'm party leader, as the next member of parliament from Western Westmoreland, we need a new wing at the Savlamar Hospital so that the people of Westmoreland can have dignity. Westmoreland need to stop carrying water on their head, and that's why they put me as the spokesperson for water. And I can tell the people of Westmoreland, under your next Prime Minister Mark Jefferson Gordon, the people of Westmoreland will get water in their pipes. They were full of evil. We chose food. Why raise the hand of the Most High, sons of men? In 2017, they canceled the road maintenance fund. And that fund was supposed to fix every road in Jamaica. Party leader, may I beg you, bring back the road maintenance fund so that the people of Westmoreland can have good road to go open.
I want to rule my destiny. I want to.
Party leader, the people of Negril have to go to Little London to pick up mail. We want a post office in Negril for the people of Negril.
Destiny, I'm a loop where you are. Destiny.
I want you to hear me now. Mark Jefferson Golden, this election is your election. I want you to hear me now. This election is the people's election. Mark Jefferson Golden is only a vessel. Mark Jefferson Golden will be your vessel. This is your government. This is your country. This is your country. This is your land. I want to say to you, nobody don't have to tell you if you choose nothing, because it's on your birth certificate. Born you, come from on you, Jamaica, land, belong.
If you give a little more than I take.
Party leader, the next time you come here, you're the Prime Minister. I declare it tonight in the name of our Father, Lord Jesus Christ and Savior.
You think of God, I pray, oh Lord, face another day.
So, they might vilify, they will vilify Mark Golden. They will curse every PNP. But guess what? With your prayers, and with your hope, and with your spirit, and with your love, we will cross the finish line September 3rd, and we will be government of this country. I leave you tonight with love. See you in Victory Lane, September 3. God bless each and every one of you. Prime Minister, Comrade Mark Jefferson Golden!
Mark is here and all you are champion. Everybody we are going to put up your feet. Hey, Mark is here with your nose and none of them not like me. See them all like but that's train us slightly. Pulling up, cut and got you because I'm not in the yard. And none of them share. Hey, Mark is here with your nose.
Himself. Comrade Chairman, comrades on the platform, all the councillors, all of the caretakers, our wonderful candidates for West and Central Westmoreland, and most of all of the comrades who are here in Grane tonight. The place car. PNP River come down bank to bank here.
What a day we have had in Westmoreland today. We started in Betheltown, over in eastern Westmoreland, and then we poured central and we poured west, and here we are in Grane. And I must tell you, I feel very confident now that this parish is going to be orange. Come the 3rd of September, we will return to the column of the People's National Party.
Due to unfavorable financial conditions, I am unable to cope with this financial situation. It's causing inflation. I can't stand this no longer. No way keep it stronger. I can't stand this no longer. Cause my body is getting hotter. But then I pick it up.
Selector, the great Peter Tash, a man who hails from this parish. Them Africa be. Comrades, you've had this experiment with Labour Party government here in this parish. And as I drove around today and I see the deplorable condition of the roads, I realized that this is not the right government for the people of Westmoreland. And I know that there are parts of Westmoreland that are suffering from a lack of water supply. And you know, I have installed Leon here in Western Westmoreland with particular responsibility for water. So you know that if the People's National Party is with you and we are in government, good things will happen here in Westmoreland. Westmoreland has always been good to the PNP after so many years. And I'm asking you to once again create a situation where all three are with us so that we have the strength now to deliver for you. And I believe, based on what I've seen today, that we will get that strength from you and that you will entrust us with the responsibility of delivering for you. Comrades, when you look back at the history of Jamaica, every time the PNP has been in government, we have had to do something transformational for Jamaica. In the era of Daddy Manley back in the 50s, from 55 through to 61, 62, Jamaica was transformed by industrialization. The bauxite and aluminum industry was taken to another level. Common entrance was introduced so that people could attend secondary school who are from humble beginnings. And Jamaica had one of the highest rates of economic growth in the world under Norman Washington Manley's government. Then the Labourites won in 62 and ruled through 72. And poverty and unemployment and underdevelopment start the land. Jamaica remained in a colonial mindset where the majority of Jamaican people couldn't aspire for the better things in life and the better jobs that the economy was providing. And Michael Joshua Manley was brought into power, and there was a great social transformation of Jamaica, where everybody became somebody. And people who previously, because of the color of their skin, couldn't even serve in banks and so on, all of that was mashed down, and Jamaica became a place of real opportunity for the majority of our citizens. And for women, we had the laws that were passed to give you equal pay and maternity leave for the workers of this country. Laws were passed to establish industrial disputes tribunal to give you justice in the workplace. And so many of the important institutions were established to uplift the people of Jamaica and give them a better life, like the National Housing Trust. And Jamal, for those who couldn't read and write, the adult literacy program. Then Tiaga's era was in the 80s, and again, Jamaica suffered.
And they developed a massive debt under Siaga. And when Michael Manley won back in 1989, the PNP began an 18-year stretch where we modernized the infrastructure of the country and we built a whole load of important institutions to support a better life for the people. Roads and seaports and airports were built. The telecom sector was liberalized so that telecoms could become a norm where everybody had a cell phone. And of course, we introduced the PATH program for those who need help, the Drug for Elderly program, the National Health Fund, and so many other things were done. Then the Labourites came in and they took the economy to the threshold of collapse under Bruce Golding and Andrew Holness. And when we were voted into power at the end of 2011, there began a period of just 4 years where the economy of the country was put on a sustainable footing. We passed a law to establish the fiscal rules. We developed the architecture to make sure that the economy could flourish. And the tax revenues began to increase, the fiscal space increased, and the debt started to come down. So when Andrew Holness says that it's a Labour Party who was rescuing Jamaica, we have to mash down that lie. It is the People's National Party under Portia Simpson Miller and Peter Phillips who did the hard work. And I was Minister of Justice, passing the necessary laws on their behalf to make it happen. And then in 2016 March, the Labourites were back in power. And they've been in power since then. They haven't built one school in the last 10 years in Jamaica. The economy has hardly grown. Although the Prime Minister is Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation, he has been a total failure in that position because the growth has been stagnant. They don't know how to move this country out of the rut that we're in now. They have no vision for the country to move forward. And that is why time come for a new government of the People's National Party to give the Jamaican people a better life. The next PNP government is going to deal with the more serious issues affecting the country. We see the education underperforming. And we see absenteeism from school as one of the major causes why the primary school children only have a 30% or 30% of our children leaving primary school cannot read and write, cannot do basic arithmetic. So we're going to have the EASE program to ensure every child who needs it gets help with a hot, nutritious meal at school every day, whether it be primary or secondary school. The PNP will deliver that. And the money to finance that program is going to be spent with our farmers because they will be the ones producing the food that will be used to build and to make the meals for the children under the EASE program. So that $9 billion of expenditure will go into the local economy to help our farmers do better business. And for those families that are struggling with the cost of transportation to take their children to school, we have the RIDE program where we're going to send out social workers and guidance counselors and find out why the children are not attending school, go to their homes. And if it's transportation that's the problem, we have the RIDE program to give you a subsidy, $10,000 per month per child to cover the cost of transportation to school. And that money will be spent with local transport operators again, so the money will run through the local economy and help them do better business. We will expect and ensure that the best are chosen to do that, so the children are carried safely. And when it comes to land and housing, we're going to transform the situation faced by hundreds of thousands of Jamaicans who live on public land now and don't have a title to their house. Under the colonial masters, the law was fixed where you had to live on public land for at least 60 years before you could get a title. We're going to reduce that to 25 years, so people are living on public land for 25 years can get them titles. And if you haven't achieved the 25 years yet, and you're well established and you want to buy the land that you're on, we will sell it to you for a reasonable price on terms that you can manage. We want the Jamaican people to be owners in this country. an aggressive program of building affordable houses for the people. Our target is 50,000 houses in the first term of office. At least 500 houses in each constituency. Central, East and Westmoreland, 500 houses each at least. And we're gonna build those houses on public lands that are not suitable for agriculture. And when we sell the houses to the people, we're gonna make sure it's at an affordable price, because we're not gonna include the value of the land in the price of the house. You're getting that as a bargain, as barter. So you're immediately better off when you buy that house than you were before. And we're going to reform the National Housing Trust to make sure that it's helping the people, helping young people with a deposit fund, to give them a grant, money they don't have to pay back, $500,000 to pay down on their first home if they're up to 45 years old. And we have the rent-to-own program. So those who can qualify for a mortgage now, they can go into occupation of those houses as a tenant, pay the rent which will be equivalent to the mortgage, and if they sustain the rent for 6 months, we will treat that as qualifying them for a mortgage. They can draw down the loan, buy the house, and move from being a tenant to being an owner. If you work in the hotel industry, the PNP government is going to implement tax-free tips and gratuity for you, so that your gratuity and your tips are not taxed, and there'll be more money in your pocket when you get paid. And if you're a security guard, or you're a police officer, or you're a nurse, or anybody else with a private or public sector who earns overtime, if you're earning less than $6 million a year, your overtime pay will be tax-free under the PNP. You'll have more money in your pocket. And comrades, we have several other policies to support important groups in the society, to establish funds, dedicated funds, to provide financial support for the churches, to help them in their social work, their outreach, because we know that they take care of a lot of vulnerable people, elderly people, and others who need help. We are going to have a fund partner with the churches so that they can do more in the communities of the type of work they want to do. We're going to have a fund for persons with disabilities as well, to support them so they can get opportunities to earn income at home, set them up in a business, get the assisted aids they need so they can see or whatever it is they need to deal with their disability, and to set up the sidewalks so the wheelchairs can roll and they can move around without the challenges that they now face. And young people, we're going to establish a young entrepreneurs fund, a youth innovation fund that will allow young people to get financing, to get a bus if they want to establish their own business. We're going to fund it with $1 million and top it up every year, because young people need help in this country to become successful in business. And we're going to have a special fund for the entertainment industry, for the cultural industries, because that is who Jamaica's brand has been built. Brand Jamaica is a critical part of how we export goods and services across the land. And we're going to set up a fund for the creative industry now. So the artists, whether you be a DJ or a singer, or whether you be a sound engineer, or whether you just be an influencer on TikTok or Instagram or whatever it may be, or you're a craft person who works with clay, or with straw, or with wood, this fund will be for you, to help you monetize your talent and take it to the world and help build Brand Jamaica and build our economy. And speaking of culture, we are going to ensure that we have two new national heroes. Robert Nesta, Bob Marley, and Miss Lou must become national heroes for their immense contribution to uplifting our culture and taking it to the world. And comrades, when it comes to government and governance, the people of Jamaica are tired of the hanky-panky rip-off business that this government has perfected. They want a government in which the people can have trust and confidence. They want a government of integrity. That is why we are going to support the Integrity Commission. We're going to amend the Integrity Commission Act so that the so-called guard clause, where they can't publish who they're investigating until the final report comes to Parliament, which means that right now in this election, persons who are nominated, who are under investigation for illicit enrichment, and the people don't know who they are, and that is wrong. So we're going to amend the God clause to deal with those situations.
I see them lying their words. Stand up again. What do you know what I say?
Yeah, man. And we're going to bring impeachment legislation to amend the Constitution, because we cannot have a repeat of a situation where a sitting MP is caught on video with a stool beating up a woman bad in a car park and not narrating, and he's running back to Parliament again. What can we do? So comrades, we have a lot of work to do to make Jamaica a better place for all of us. And the next PNP government is committed to making a better life for all Jamaicans across the board. So comrades, I'm asking you, come the 3rd of September, please come out and support your candidate of the People's National Party. Put your ex squarely beside the head of Grane Campbell in the east, for doing North Central, and for HAYLES in the west. And then we will have a happy day. Oh, what a joy it will be when I will be back where we should be, in the winning column under a People's National Party government with Iman Marketing as the Prime Minister. Power to the people! Power to the people! Power to the people! One love for the rest, that is all.
Take what's right for the money. The other side. You know me. You go home. I said this head bigger than your looking. Alright, comrades. God bless you. See you in Jamaica. Roberts.